we're going to outright invade, and we're not going to we're not going to take this anymore. We're just gonna come in and take over. Something interesting about this that I talked with my partner about. He made an interesting point, and that was that we can't really take over anyway, just because it's such a huge country, and it would just pretty much be impossible to kind of just go in and take over, even if it was like using hard power. So, it'd be kind of hard to do like without force, and that'd be like hard power. The next, we're going to talk about soft power. It's the ability to secure desired outcomes through attraction rather than coercion. And this is something America is wanting to lean more towards. So we can coerce Iran to kind of go more along with our policies and what we're wanting them to do, rather than kind of saying, okay, well, we're just going to take over. We don't want to go ahead and do all these, restrictions on them and everything. We want them to want the change and want, what we have to offer them. So this could be done through tangible or intangible cultural and commercial goods that promote credibility and legitimacy. So, there's different ways that it can come about, to kind of just attract them rather than, coerce them through hard policy or anything. So, next we are going to go into the current policy of non-engagement towards Iran. I found a pretty interesting political cartoon, as you see there. You have, a Shah, or, whoever the Iranian guy is. Well, obviously it says member Iran, and it says Barack wants to become your friend, yes or no. And I'm going to kind of go into how kind of crazy the U.S. has been in regards to their dealings with Iran, especially currently. So it kind of starts off that little topic. So next we're going to go into the Obama administration. The Obama administration's approach to Iran has definitely been schizophrenic. It's just been all over the place. You don't really know what's going to happen. You don't really know what kind of policy he's going to make. It's more of a reaction than, than actually making informed decisions, And he recently stated that all options are on the table at one event, before chastising other politicians for discussing war far too casually. And, this nature of containment, if we did use that policy, it requires a strong, consistent message. So you have to have, there's nothing consistent about the current policy. There's nothing strong about the new policy. As I stated before, there's just, no teeth to it. So that's the current administration. So current government policy towards Iran right now, when it comes to this non-engagement, you have, I'm going to go over the executive orders and congressional legislation. This is not just stuff Congress can put into effect, but it's also something that the president has ordered from the executive branch. So, first of all, they have prohibited nearly all trade with Iran in order, to kind of punish them. And also, they have prohibited nearly all investment in Iran. And this is part of their policy. And also, another policy they've put into effect is they've imposed sanctions because of Iran's, there's multiple reasons for this, because of Iran's sponsorship of terrorism, its refusal to comply with regulations on its nuclear program, and its human rights violations. So those are three specific, reasons why they're kind of going into all of this. And we're going to go over some issues later, and kind of go over why we kind of did this sanction thing and the details of what happened. So if you'd like to go to the next slide, I'm next going to go to the history of relations. Found kind of a old picture just to kind of show you, kind of the I guess you could say the American attitude for a while of what's been going on. Just Americans just aren't happy with what's going on right now with Iran. So, if you'd like to do the history slide, I'd like to go over a few things that have happened in history between the U.S. and Iran that have definitely led to this non-engagement policy. You've got November 4th, 1979. There was an American embassy in Tehran that was seized by Iranian students. They held multiple hostages for multiple days, and it was just not a good time for the U.S. and Iranian relations, and it did not help their negotiations at all. Then on April 7th, 1980, the U.S. broke their diplomatic relations with Iran. At that point, things weren't going well, and they just said, we're not dealing with you diplomatically anymore. Also, on January 20th, 1981, there was a tribunal. It was the Iran-U.S. Claims Tribunal, and that was established to handle legal claims between U.S. nationals and Iranian nationals. The problem was it wasn't necessarily a government versus government type thing. It was more of legal matters. So, if someone was suing someone here against another American, you've got this thing where one American might want to sue an Iranian, and just kind of just deals with the legal matters. So, it wasn't necessarily sure negotiations or anything like that. Okay, and then next, on the next history slide, as you've seen, there have been many obstacles to engaging with Iran. But despite the obstacles, representatives still discuss issues of concern